Question 1. The capacitance type fuel gauging system indicates the fuel quantity by measuring The answer is B. Dielectric change between fuel and air. Question 2. The fuel tanks of aircrafts must be checked for water. The answer is C. Before the first flight of the day or after a long turnaround time. Question 3. Fuel tank air pressure is maintained at ambient by. The answer is D. The fuel vent system. Question 4. The functions of an LP booster pump in a gas turbine fuel system are to. The answer is C. Avoid vapor locking and prevent cavitation of the HP fuel pump. Question 5. The mixture control for a carburetor achieves its control by. The answer is A. Varying the fuel supply to the main discharge tube. Question 6. The relationship between compression ratio of a piston engine and the required fuel octane rating is that The answer is D. Higher the compression ratio, the higher the octane rating required. Question 7. On design purpose, the relationship between the fuel octane rating and the maximum compression ratio of a piston engine is. The answer is C. The higher the octane rating is, the higher the maximum compression ratio is. Question 8. The relationship between compression ratio of a piston engine and the required fuel octane rating is that The answer is A. Higher the compression ratio, the higher the octane rating required. Question 9. In flight, a cantilever wing of an aeroplane containing fuel is subjected to vertical loads that produce a bending moment, which is. The answer is D. Highest at the wing root. Question 10. Aircraft fuel tanks should be checked for water? The answer is C. Before the first flight of the day. Question 11. The ventilation system in a fuel tank. The answer is C. Prevents low pressure or excessive overpressure in the tank. Question 12. The octane rating of a fuel characterizes The answer is B. Resistance to detonation. Question 13. Variations in mixture ratios for carburetors are achieved by the adjustment of. The answer is C. Fuel flow. Question 14. On most transport aircraft, the low-pressure pumps of the fuel system are. The answer is A. Centrifugal pumps. Question 15. Vapor lock is the phenomenon by which. The answer is A. Heat produces vapor bubbles in the fuel line. Question 16. On a transport-type aircraft, the fuel tank system is vented through. The answer is ram air scoops on the underside of the wing. Question 17. On most transport aircraft, the low-pressure pumps of the fuel system are. The answer is A. Electrically driven centrifugal pumps. Question 18. On most transport aircraft, the low-pressure pumps of the fuel system are. The answer is C. Centrifugal pumps which are driven by an electric motor. Question 19. On modern carburetors, the variation of mixture ratios is obtained by the adjustment of. The answer is C. The fuel flow. Question 20. On a jet aircraft, fuel heaters are. The answer is C. Located on the engines. Question 21. In a gas turbine engine lubrication system, the oil-to-fuel heat exchanger provides. The answer is B. Oil cooling through thermal exchange with the fuel. Question 22. In a fuel system, the oil-to-fuel heat exchanger allows. The answer is C. Jet engine oil cooling through thermal exchange with fuel flowing from tanks. Question 23. In a compensated capacitance-type quantity indicating system, the contents gauge of a half-full fuel tank indicates a fuel mass of 8,000 kilograms. If a temperature rise increased the volume of fuel by 5%, the indicated fuel mass would. The answer is D. Remain the same. Question 24. Vapor lock is the phenomenon by which. The answer is C. Heat produces vapor bubbles in the fuel line. Question 25. The vapor lock is. The answer is C. A stoppage in a fuel feeding line caused by a fuel vapor bubble. Question 26. The vapor lock is. The answer is A. A stoppage in a fuel feeding line caused by a fuel vapor bubble. Question 27. The pressure usually produced by the boost pumps of the fuel supply system is within the following range. The answer is C. 20 to 50 psi. Question 28. The purpose of baffle check valves fitted in aircraft fuel tanks is to. The answer is C. Prevent fuel movement to the wing tip. Question 29. The automatic fueling shut-off valve. The answer is B. Stops fueling as soon as a certain fuel level is reached inside the tank. Question 30. The function of a feed box in the fuel tank is to. The answer is B. Increase the fuel level at the boost pump location. Question 31. The reason for having a low-pressure fuel-cooled oil cooler in a recirculatory-type oil system is to. The answer is C. Cool the oil and heat the fuel. Question 32. Fuel pumps submerged in the fuel tanks of a multi-engine aircraft are. The answer is C. Centrifugal low-pressure type pumps. Question 33. Fuel tanks accumulate moisture. The most practical way to limit this in an aircraft flown daily is to. The answer is C. Fill the tank after each flight or keep tanks topped off when the aircraft is not in use. Question 34. The octane rating of a fuel characterizes the. The answer is D. The anti-knock capability. Question 35. The fuel temperature, at which, under standard conditions, the vapor ignites in contact with a flame and extinguishes immediately, is the. The answer is C. Flash point. Question 36. One of the purposes of the fuel system booster pumps being submerged in fuel is to. The answer is C. To facilitate the priming of the pumps and to cool the pumps. Question 37. One of the purposes of the fuel system booster pumps to be submerged in the fuel is. The answer is B. To facilitate the priming of the pump. Question 38. The fuel cross-feed system. The answer is C. Allows feeding of any engine from any fuel tank. Question 39. The fuel system boost pumps are used to. The answer is A. Avoid bubble accumulation and feed the lines with fuel and direct it to the engine at a positive pressure. Question 40. The cross-feed fuel system can be used to. The answer is 1. Feed any engine from any fuel tank. And 3. Adjust fuel distribution. Question 41. The purpose of baffles in an aeroplane's integral fuel tank is to. The answer is D. Restrict the fuel movements in the tank. Question 42. The cross-feed fuel system enables. The answer is C. The supply of any jet engine from any fuel tank. Question 43. Specific fuel consumption is defined as the. The answer is B. Mass of fuel required to produce unit power for unit time. Question 44. Vapor lock is. The answer is D. Vaporizing of fuel prior to reaching the carburetor. Question 45. During refueling, the automatic shut-off valves will switch off the fuel supply system when. The answer is C. The fuel has reached a predetermined volume or mass. Question 46. The types of fuel tanks used on most modern transport aircraft are. The answer is D. Integral tanks. Question 47. The fuel supply system on a jet engine includes a fuel heating device upstream of the main fuel filter too. The answer is C. Prevent, at low fuel temperature, the risk of ice formation from water contained in the fuel. Question 48. The pressurization of fuel tanks is maintained by. The answer is C. The fuel vent system. Question 49. The diagram shown in Annex represents a jet fuel system. The fuel flow measurement is carried out. The answer is B. After high pressure valve item 4. Question 50. On most large aeroplanes, the type of low pressure fuel pump is. The answer is B. Centrifugal. Question 51. The type of fuel tank used to most large aeroplanes is A. The answer is A. Integral tank. Question 52. In addition to the fire hazard introduced, excessive priming should be avoided because. The answer is A. It washes the lubricant of cylinder walls. Question 53. In which sections of the carburetor would icing most likely occur? The answer A. Venturi and the throttle valve. Question 54. To maintain a constant mixture at low and high power settings in a piston engine, a carburetor is fitted with. The answer is A. A diffuser compensating jet. Question 55. To ensure that the fuel flow is kept directly proportional to the volume of air flowing through the choke, thus preventing the main jet from supplying excessive fuel as the engine speed is increased, a carburetor is fitted with. The answer A. A diffuser. Question 56. The correct order of decreasing freezing points of the three mentioned fuels is. The answer is C. Jet A, 1 Jet B. Question 57. The function of the swirl vanes round the fuel nozzles is to 2. Reduce the average axial flow speed in order to stabilize the flame front. 3. Generate a swirl of incoming air to enhance mixing of the fuel with air. The combination that regroups all of the correct statements is A 2 and 3. Question 58. Which statement is correct? 1. The freezing point for Jet A is at a lower temperature than that for Jet B. 2. The flash point for Jet A is at a lower temperature than that for Jet B. The answer is D. 1 is incorrect and 2 is incorrect. Question 59. Which statement is correct? 1. The freezing point for Jet A is at a higher temperature than that for Jet B. 2. The flash point for Jet A is at a higher temperature than that for Jet B. The answer is B. 1 is correct and 2 is correct. Question 60. Which statement is correct? 1. The freezing point for Jet A is at a lower temperature than that for Jet B. 2. The flash point for Jet A is at a higher temperature than that for Jet B. The answer is A. 1 is incorrect and 2 is correct. Question 61. Which statement is correct? 1. The freezing point for Jet A is at about the same temperature as that for Jet B. 2. The flash point for Jet A is at a higher temperature than that for Jet B. The answer is C. 1 is incorrect and 2 is correct.